Hey everyone, Miss Janine here. It is Monday, and I just wanted to try to, calm some frazzled nerves. And I don't mean to seem snarky or uncaring when I ask you if you've read the directions. I did for the portfolio project. I did read the weekly check-ins, and a couple of you have submitted what was due for week 3. And I hear your frustration, and probably because I've been doing this for a couple years now, I'm not seeing what you're not seeing, if that makes any sense. The school did, and again, all of this is set up by the school, not by me. So please remember that when I will say y'all are pretty good about not personally attacking me and acting like I come up with this stuff just to be mean and crazy. The school redid this, I want to say last term, maybe 2 terms, because I didn't teach over the summer. And this is better than what it was. When I first started, even in the portfolio project, even for Gen Psych, I was so confused. But remember, this is a 300 level course, so the portfolio project takes a different twist. And I really, really encourage you to embrace this project to its fullest capacity. Even if you don't get to go as in-depth with your career job analysis that you want or should, and I don't really like using that word should, but this is one of those times I think it applies. Keep these instructions and go back every 6 months at a minimum and walk through some of these steps. I think this is absolutely valuable. I do work as a career strategist, and I do pretty much this exact same thing with my clients. So when they asked me to teach the course and I saw this project, I'm like, oh my God, this is wonderful. And I actually use it almost the same for another school I teach with, and the students loved it. So please, I mean, I'm sitting here. I've had an exhausting weekend working with clients. I've got a full desk of more people wanting to work with me, and I'm absolutely exhausted right now on a Monday morning, which is not normally me. But I choose to say, you know what, I am blessed. I am blessed to have all this work. I am blessed to work with people I love working with and care about. So when you look at these as, oh my God, one more thing, no, please try to find the positives in it. Try to shift your mindset so that you can enjoy working on this. So let's just kind of go through here. And again, it's a big part of your grade if for nothing else. Now, week 3 was a critical analysis of resources. Now, I think some of you have overcomplicated it, so please don't. Just get it in. We're looking for, and I say we, meaning the school, because I have to follow the grading rubric. Give me your references. What references are you going to use to support your paper? And I admit, you kind of have to read through the whole shebang to get what you're doing. So you just can't read each week and stop. So this week, before you write your report, you must first find, conduct research, and find credible resource. Okay, pretty wonky sentence. It could confuse. ONET is going to be one of your resources. Find it. Okay, remember how many resources? Okay, you have to use ONET. So that's 1. Part 2, 4 scholarly articles from the library. Okay, you're also going to be talking, so kind of jump down here to, well, what's the project about? What do you got to talk about? Yes, you're talking about the job. And I'm going to stop myself. I encourage you to focus this on the career you want, your dream job. The goal is that you know the answers to all these things after you conduct this analysis. So when you are job hunting, and an employer says, I want somebody with 3 years experience in using Excel spreadsheets. You don't say, well, how am I going to get 3 years? You're going to say, well, I have maybe not 3, but I have 1 because I knew to volunteer in the community and work on Excel spreadsheets as part of my volunteer. I knew to find an internship where I could use Excel spreadsheets, and I'm keeping this very generic, but you know what you will be finding that you need. But that's the purpose, is so you're not surprised when you graduate that you may still be missing a few things that employers want. You're going to find out what the employers want, and you're going to be able to set up a strategy on how you're going to get those skills before you graduate so you are employable. So I hope that makes sense. Now back to some of the things you're going to cover in this. You're also going to be looking at leadership. So find and I'm just going simple here, so don't overcomplicate. Find a reference that speaks about leadership. We'll be talking about all kinds of leadership styles and things. Look in your textbook, find some styles, and find an article using the school library, meaning a peer-reviewed journal article that supports leadership. Stress and coping. Again, we're going to be look in the syllabus, the tracking calendar on this, what sections are talking about stress and coping. Find a reference that addresses this. Because again, you're going to have to discuss possible stressors as well as specific stressors related to your job. Analyze coping mechanisms. So again, you're going to find something about your job. Maybe you're going to interview somebody who's going to tell you what the stressors are. But you're going to need to address coping mechanisms. Sounds like a psychology thing, right? You're going to be able to find peer-reviewed research to support that. Networking activities. Let's go with the third one. Discuss the importance of career networking. You're going to be able to find lots of good stuff on that. Analyze specific social and professional networks. Here, I encourage you to talk about LinkedIn, BNI. It's Business Networking International. Call your local chamber of commerce and see if they have networking opportunities. And again, we're going to get into all of these later, but for now, you're going to need to start finding these references. So that was 3, and you needed 4. Did we do 4? Leadership, stress and coping, networking. So, okay, maybe you find 2 references in here on stress, or 2 references, and don't worry about keeping it to a minimum. And I'm pausing because I want to scroll back up. So again, part 2 was identify 4, and that means minimum of 4. So again, don't overcomplicate it. But again, if you're not getting it, and I feel like I'm reaching through, shaking you, and you feel like you're slapping me, that's okay. Just we'll both try to remain respectful, but be very specific. And if it's, Miss Janine, I'm reading week 3, second paragraph, second line, what does it mean? Help me understand what you're not understanding. Again, I'm not trying to be mean and snarky and shirk my responsibilities to help you, but I'm not understanding some of the difficulty, and you're not the first group to tell me I don't get it. But I know some of the comments said you've been reading it, you've read this handout several times, and you still don't get it. So I hope I'm explaining what you're doing is you're going to pick your dream job, whether it's running a huge hospital, being the administrator at a nursing home in your community. What is your dream job? And you're going to analyze it. And it's only 5 to 6 pages, double spaced, so that's not very much, folks. So don't get hung up on that. Don't let that give you a psychological block. You are going to be addressing, I'm going to scroll back down because I think it will help. If you look in week 5 in the handout, and again, this handout is in chapter 1, and I look at the clock right now, I say I'm going long-winded on this. Week 5, this is how you're going to lay out your paper. An introduction. Follow this. Don't try to reinvent the wheel and be cutesy on something else. You'll just drive yourself nuts. Keep it simple. You're going to do your introduction. Introduce the job analysis and selected career. I want to be a healthcare manager, be at a local nursing home because my grandma has been in this nursing home for X amount of years. I love helping people. I currently work something that introduces what you're doing. And then briefly preview, healthcare administrators have stress coming from various outlets. They have not only worker stress, employee stress, they have patient stress, and they have family stressors from the families of the patients. Plus, you throw in your own family, and maybe you're still working on a post degree, a graduate degree, doctorate degree. And I will be sharing how to manage stress. Something like that. Then you're going to have part 1, job title. And it's okay to say, you have a header, job title, healthcare administration manager, something. Job activities, sorry, that's Miss Savannah. I think she's barking at the mailman. Job activities, again, just describe. You're going to get these when you're doing your ONET. Do not cut and paste strictly from ONET. Use things in your own words. Look at job descriptions. Do a job search on Indeed. And then working. So you're going to just address all of these. But again, ONET and that Bureau of Labor Statistics will be a great source. Job specifications. Again, you'll get a lot of this from ONET. You'll get it from looking at job announcements. Job evaluation and current median wage. Discuss projected growth. That again is on ONET. So all of part 1 really comes from ONET. Then part 2 of your paper, you're going to select a leadership theory you feel would most effectively, it's Monday, effectively impact employee performance. Which one resonates with you? Which of what we're covering resonates with you? That's where you're using your reference to talk about that. Support your decision why you feel this is an important career field. Oh, I'm sorry. This is most important in your career field. Again, you're able to now share why you think you're going to use that type of leadership theory. Stress and coping, that's everywhere. Networking again. And then conclusion, you just a recap. Make sure you're doing a conclusion. And then week 6 is when you're going to upload this for peer review. You'll be reviewing each other. I hold off on my feedback, and this is a small class, so we should be able to get the feedback done really quickly. Post early, so then if I see people doing feedback, I can post early. And then week 7, this is where people a lot of times don't even take my feedback. They just keep uploading the same document, and then I get a little annoyed, like, why did I give you all that feedback? But you're going to do a reflective narrative. And then week 7, you've also got a reflection. So please pull this out again. I think I truly think you're just over making it worse than it is. Dump everything you've ever done on a past portfolio project. Again, 300 level. You're basically finding out what you're going to need to get your dream job. I hope this helps. If not, again, I've got office hours tomorrow at noon. If noon doesn't work, let me know when you need to talk. Text me. Text messaging is, again, the fastest way to get hold of me. 910-539-2810. I truly am here to help you succeed. I want you all to have your dream jobs. So take this project very seriously. And, it's a great project, even if you have peers or friends not taking the course. That ONET is very valuable. ONET is keep that and I recommend people do a job search about every 6 months to see what new things employers want. That's how you keep your skills up to date and ahead of your peers. You want to, job hunting, keeping a job, personal growth, professional growth really is almost it's a jungle out there. You got to be ahead of the competition. You got to be the top dog. So this is helping you and giving you the tools so you stay ahead. So I'm going to shush because this has gone way longer than probably most of you want to hear me babble. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Again, if you need me, send a text. Bye-bye.